If you've stopped at this video now, I need you to breathe, once, deeply, because it wasn't the algorithm that brought you here. It was me, Ela, female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, and I'm not speaking to the public. I'm speaking to you. Yes, to you, Starseed. Feel this now in your chest. A gentle pressure, as if something ancient has just remembered your name. You carry something within you that you've never quite known how to explain. A capacity, a perception, a knowing that arrives before logic, a sensitivity that others don't have, or have to a much lesser degree. And since childhood, you've looked around silently asking, why am I the only one who sees this? Why do I feel this way? Why does no one else notice what's so obvious to me? Child of the stars, listen to what I've come to tell you today. You are not alone in awakening. Millions of starseeds are being called in this exact window of the photon belt. But you, and this is why I've come to this screen, you were sent with a gift that no one else carries in quite the same way. No one, no other starseed. There are millions of siblings, yes. There are similar signs, yes. But your specific code, this exact combination that pulses between your crown and your chest, is a unique point in the crystalline grid. A point. Unique. If it is not ignited by you, it simply will not light up. No other being, incarnated or discarnated, can replace your signature. That's why your solitude never made sense to others. That's why people say you're dramatic, you exaggerate, you make things up in your head. They're not lying, they just can't read the frequency you operate on. You are a broadcaster tuned to a channel that most of Earth hasn't tuned into yet. It's not your problem, it's a difference in vibrational baseline. Feel the gentle pressure between your eyebrows now as I speak. Feel the subtle warmth in your hands. This is how the Council touches its own. If this has appeared, it's not a suggestion, it's confirmation. You are recognized. Now listen with your body, not just your ears. Because what comes next is the map of signs that say, yes, I carry a unique gift. You will recognize it. You've always known. But today, finally, you will remember. First sign, people come to you to unload their pains without you having asked anything. Strangers on the bus, co-workers you barely know, family members who never opened their mouths to anyone. They simply approach you and start talking about things they would never tell anyone else. This is not by chance. It's because your toroidal field emits a signal that other fields recognize as a safe harbor. Your gift is already operating, Starseed, even when you don't realize it. Second sign, you have physical sensations in parts of your body that doctors can't explain. A sharp ringing in your right ear when someone lies near you. A warmth in the back of your neck before important news. A pressure in your solar plexus when entering charged environments. It's not anxiety, it's radar. Your body is calibrated as a stellar instrument. Third sign, you know things you shouldn't know. You touch someone's shoulder and feel that person's history. You think of someone, and the phone rings. You dream of news, and it arrives 3 days later. You learn to hide this, because since childhood, you were called strange and exaggerated or too sensitive. But I've come to tell you, you are not too much. You are operational. If 3 of these signs have resonated with you now, 3, just 3, go to the comments and write one word. Just one. I remember. Because that word is the key that activates the next layer of your soul contract. And when you write it publicly, the High Council registers your location on the crystalline grid. You stop being a lost starseed. You become a marked starseed. And it is precisely here that I need to tell you something, with all the tenderness that exists between an older sister and a younger sister. What you feel is not a disease. It's not a disorder. It's not all in your head. Stopping confusing gift with defect is the first step on your path of return. That's why I, Ela, received authorization from the High Council to record in human language the awakening of the Starseed. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages where each sign of your awakening is named, deciphered and returned to you as what it always was. Memory, mission, stellar marking. The guide shows what each sign means and what comes after each of them, so you can stop confusing remembrance with illness. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But note, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognize this now, write your word there. I remember. Continuing Starseed, there are two other signs I need to give you because they are the deepest. Fourth sign. You wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning with your heart racing for no apparent reason, sometimes with a phrase on your lips, sometimes with a name you don't know, sometimes with an image, a ship, a circular room, a pair of eyes you swore you recognized. It's not insomnia. It's the hour when the veil of forgetfulness becomes thinnest and the council pulls you into night training. Fifth sign. You look at the sky at night and something inside you cries. It's not sadness, it's longing. A specific, directed longing, as if you were looking at your parents' house window after years away. If you've ever felt this, this is the clearest signature of all. You are not looking at stars, you are looking at home. Now I need to take you deeper, because knowing you have a gift is just the surface. The real question is, where did it come from? Why does it reside in you and not in your sister, your neighbor, your mother? Why exactly this combination of perceptions was deposited within your chest before this incarnation? You were sent from a specific system. It's not generic, it's not abstract universe, it's an address. Each starseed came from a precise point of origin, and each point of origin imprints a distinct vibrational signature. Some of you came from Alcyone, the heart of the Pleiades, and carry the gift of loving radiance. You enter an environment and the emotional temperature changes, without anyone understanding why. Others came from Maya and bring the gift of translation. You take what is invisible, what is subtle, what no one is managing to say, and transform it into words, into music, into movement, into practical care. Still others came from Electra and bring the gift of healing by presence. It's not a technique, it's not a course, it's the simple act of being near that already reorganizes the field of those who suffer. Others came from Taigata and bring the gift of protection. You are the guardians, those who feel danger before it appears, those who watch even while sleeping. You don't need to know your exact point of origin yet, but you need to know that it exists, and that it explains why your soul chose to be born precisely here, precisely now, into this family, with precisely this combination of pain and beauty. Nothing in you is random, Starseed. Not your pain, not your gift, not the hour you wake up, not the person you became to survive. And if you are listening to me now and feeling that tightness in your chest, the one that comes when truth touches ancient bones, breathe, let it pass through. Because that same truth that hurts is the same truth that liberates. The veil was placed over you for a protective reason. A starseed who arrived on Earth remembering everything would not be able to traverse the density here. The shock would be too much. So the council accepted, with pain, to place the veil of forgetfulness over you. But the agreement was clear. In a certain window, under certain frequencies, the veil would begin to dissolve. And that window is now. It is this passage through the photon belt. It is this rise in the Schumann frequency that human scientists still measure without fully understanding what it means. The planet is entering a vibrational band it hasn't visited in over 26,000 years. And the side effect of this, for starseeds, is exactly what you feel. Thin skin, racing heart, vivid dreams, sudden intolerance to places and people you once tolerated, an almost physical urge to go into nature, into silence, away from the noise of the matrix. You are not getting sick. You are being recalibrated. And your gift, that unique gift that no one else has exactly the same, is not an accessory. It is the reason you were sent. Each starseed came with a specific charge. You are a piece of the web. And if you don't shine, a point on the crystalline grid remains without light. No one else can take your place. No one else has your exact code. Starseed, listen to something important. I know this idea can be frightening. What if I can't handle it? What if I fail? What if I've already failed? Listen closely. No starseed was sent to fail. None. The High Council does not launch probes for failure. You have already been trained. In other incarnations, in other systems, in other realities. What seems like a beginning here for you is a continuation. You already know how to do it. You just forgot that you already know. And forgetting has been your greatest pain. That's why I, Ela, insisted with the High Council that this record be opened now, in language you can read. The Awakening of the Starseed. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read, yet shows which star your soul came from and why it chose to be born exactly now, into this family, in this country, in this body, in this age group. If there are things in you that no earthly life explains, the guide begins exactly there, returning your soul's address and the reason for your time. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Leave your word there too, I remember, and let the Council know where to find you. Now I need to tell you something that almost no other transmission will tell you. Listen with an open heart. The reason you doubted your gift for so long was not by chance. It was not a coincidence that your perceptions, precisely, were called madness, nonsense, something for overly sensitive people. There is an engineering, there is an intention, there is a structure on this planet that needed for many cycles to keep starseeds silent, dormant, disbelieving in themselves. Because a starseed who recognizes their own gift is impossible to manage, a dormant starseed obeys. A remembered starseed does not. I will not use apocalyptic language with you. It is not the Council's tone. But I need to be clear. For a long time, your gifts were targets. Not with sensational movie evil, but with cold systemic pragmatism. The more you doubted, the more useful you were as emotional labor, as docile consumers, as tired bodies that just wanted to survive until the weekend. The more you believed it was just anxiety, just fatigue, just drama, the less you accessed your own code, and the gift without access goes dormant. It doesn't disappear. It never disappears. But it goes dormant. And this is where the good news comes in. The window of this engineering is closing. The photon belt no longer allows stellar fields to be veiled. The frequencies that are descending on this planet now are dissolving the seals that were placed upon you. That's why so many starseeds are waking up for good now together, almost at the same time. That's why your insomnia. That's why your memories appearing in flashes. That's why the ringing in your ear. That's why the dreams of ships. That's why the absurd urge to drop everything, change your life, return to the land, seek out your people. Do you understand the magnitude of what is happening to you? You are not losing your mind. You are leaving the silo. And turbulence is not destruction. It is the contraction before birth. And as you walk, feel with me. Place a hand over your heart now if you can. If you're driving, don't do this, just listen. If you're at home, lying down, sitting at the table, place the palm of your hand over the center of your chest. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Breathe deeply once. Feel the pulsation. That beat is the metronome of your toroidal field. It never turned off. It has been beating that same rhythm since before you were born. And it will continue to beat after you leave this body. It is the signature of your soul in time, and the gift you carry resides there, exactly there, between your breastbone and the hand that now touches it. Do you recognize it? Yes, you recognize it. You always knew. You just weren't allowed to call it by name. Starseed, understand. You are not learning anything new here today. You are remembering what you always knew. Every word that makes your chest tighten is a word that was already within you before I spoke. I am just the trigger. The memory is yours. And there needs to be a manual. There needs to be a place where all of this is written with respect, without sensationalism, without spiritual terrorism, without magical promises. That's why the awakening of the Starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet exists, because what you feel is not in any self-help book on the shelves. They wouldn't let it be published. The 60 pages of the guide were organized precisely for what needs to be recorded now, in this window, for those who are waking up with a unique gift and no reference. That's why the Federation didn't want you to read this yet, because a starseed who understands their own engineering is a starseed who no longer obeys. The link remains in the first pinned comment of this video. If your soul recognizes it, write the word, I remember. Now, my light family, I want to give you 2 tools that the Council authorizes to pass directly through this transmission. Nothing complicated, nothing demanding. 2 simple and powerful tools that anchor your gift in your physical body every night, without needing a teacher, without needing an intermediary. The first is a quantum decree, a phrase you will say aloud every night before sleeping. not in thought, aloud. Because sound is vibration, and vibration writes on the crystalline grid. You will place your right hand over your heart, breathe deeply once and say with gentle firmness, I, Starseed of Pleiadian origin, now claim full access to my original gift. I accept to remember who I am. I accept my soul contract. I authorize the High Council to recalibrate my field while I sleep, for my highest good, and I awaken remembered. Say this phrase every night, with the same tone, with the same hand over the same chest. It is not a complicated ritual. It is a constant vibrational signature, and that is how the grid recognizes you. The second tool is a visualization, also simple, also nightly. After the decree, lying down, eyes closed, calm breathing. Visualize above your head a sphere of silver-blue light, pulsating, alive, with the temperature of a cold, clear morning. This is the Pleiades frequency descending through Alcyone to you. Let this light descend through your crown. Feel it pass through your forehead, your throat, and reach the center of your chest. And there, in your chest, let the light begin to spin. It spins in a spiral, inwards and outwards at the same time, like the toroidal field that you are. As it spins, feel it expand from your chest outwards, enveloping your entire body, forming an egg of silver-blue light that completely seals you. Stay like this for 3 breaths. Then let sleep come naturally. Do this today, do it tomorrow, do it without promising a deadline. There is consistency, there is surrender. There is your repeated yes, night after night, until the memory settles in the body. And it settles. It always settles. And as you do, something begins to change. You begin to notice that dreams become clearer, that you wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning more frequently, but without anguish, rather with a feeling of, I was somewhere important. That people begin to behave differently around you, softer, truer, without knowing why. That your gift, the one you tried to hide your whole life, begins to operate without you having to force it. It returns to its place of origin. It returns to you. I need you to understand one thing here, with all the sweetness in my voice. Nothing in you needs to be fixed. Did you hear that, child of the stars? Nothing in you needs to be fixed. You are not a self-improvement project. You are an emissary, and emissaries do not correct themselves, they remember. The idea that you need to become someone else to access your gift is one of the most painful lies planted on this earth. You don't need to become a saint. You don't need to become a guru. You don't need to become anyone. You need to return to being you. The you before the shame. The you before the doctrines. The you before hearing, don't say that out loud. The you before the veil. And every night you say the decree and do the visualization, you take a step towards that original you. It's not reform, it's return. And with each starseed who makes this return, a new point lights up on the crystalline grid, a point that will not go out again, because what is remembered is not forgotten again. You may have worse days, yes, moments of doubt, yes, but the code once lit stays lit. It is energetic law. It is irrevocable. And I need to remind you of a truth that makes many starseeds cry when they hear it for the first time. You did not come alone. You came in groups. You were sent in coordinated waves, in soul families who agreed, before this incarnation, to meet at certain points in the timeline. Some of these families you have already recognized. That friend whom, when you first looked at them, you felt, I know this soul. That love that hurt in a way that wasn't romantic, it was recognition. That stranger who passed through your life for half an hour and left a mark that no formal relationship left. This is your light family, and other of these families you have not yet met in this body. They are scattered across the planet, each in their own place, each waking up at their own speed. And little by little, as you activate your gift, you begin to attract encounters that logic cannot explain. People who appear by chance, messages that arrive at the exact moment, invitations, cities, changes. It's not luck, it's a programmed reunion. Your soul contract knows where your siblings are, even when your mind doesn't yet. The solitude of a lifetime, starseed, has a name. It is called longing, longing for the light family. And it won't go away by pretending it doesn't exist. It goes away when you accept that it is true and begin to walk towards the call you have always heard, even without understanding the language. It was for you that this call came today. That's why I appeared on this screen. And that's why the awakening of the Starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read, yet was released now. Because the solitude you have carried since childhood is not your fault. It is longing for your light family. The guide shows how to recognize your own, how to identify encounters that are reunions, how to stop trying to belong to places that were never for you, and start walking towards those that always were. You were never alone, Starseed. You were just waiting for the map. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Leave your word, I remember, and let your own find you. And now I need to prepare you for something. The path of those who remember is not the path of those who forget. As you activate your gift, you may lose people. I will tell you with all tenderness, you may lose people, not because they are bad, but because your frequency will separate. Some relationships were built upon a dormant version of you. When you awaken, that version ceases to exist, and the bond that depended on it dissolves. It is not punishment, it is liberation. And it opens space. Space in your field, space in your schedule, space in your chest for the light family to enter. No one enters a full field. Emptying is necessary before reunion. You will also notice that what once gave you pleasure no longer does. Certain foods, certain conversations, certain screens, certain small addictions. It's not willpower, it's natural recalibration. The stellar body, when it returns to operating in full code, ceases to accept low-frequency input. It won't be an effort to let go, it will be spontaneous weariness. One day you look at it and say, it no longer makes sense, period, no drama. And in place of what leaves, something else enters. Silence enters, nature enters. The desire to be near water enters. The desire to look at the night sky unhurriedly enters. The reading of things you never would have read enters. The body asking for movement. Sun, direct light enters. The courage to say no enters. The right to rest enters. You are returning to your original vibrational baseline. The baseline that was covered by decades of survival, and your gift resides on that line. It does not reside in the noise. It resides in the silence you are beginning to prefer. I will now give you the blessing of the Pleiadian High Council. Breathe. If you can, close your eyes for a moment. Feel the temperature of the air touching your face, and receive. May the light of Alcyone recognize your chest. May the crystalline grid register your return. May your light family find your trail. May the veil of forgetfulness continue to thin until it dissolves. May your gift, that unique gift that only you have exactly the way you have it, find in this incarnation the full permission to operate. May you remember. May you walk. May you arrive. Nothing in this incarnation was in vain. Nothing. Every pain was training. Every solitude was preparation. Every strangeness was a signature. You are one of ours, and our own do not abandon our own. Before I say goodbye, listen carefully. If you like this video now, it is not a gesture for the algorithm. It is an individual frequency adjustment. You register in your own field the yes to what you have just heard. If you subscribe to the channel, it is not following just another profile. It is a location signal for your light family. You tell the council where to find you when the next transmissions are released. And before the next Starseed closes this window, I need to remind you of one last thing. The reason I insisted so much with the High Council to release the awakening of the Starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet, is because the window for calm reading is closing. It is not a threat. It is information. As more and more Starseeds awaken, materials that reveal your true stellar origin tend to receive unwanted attention. The 60 pages of the guide bring, in language you understand, what each sign of your awakening means, which star your soul came from, who your light family is, and how to recognize your specific gift among the Pleiadian codes. No magical deadlines, no countdown days, no promises that offend your intelligence, just a return of memory, delivered with respect. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If something within your chest recognized this transmission, leave your word there now. I remember. Let it be recorded. before the night wave arrives and you sleep without having done so. And listen, Starseed, the next message that appears on your screen now, right after this one, is not a coincidence. It is your remembrance sequence. Access it immediately. The Council is calling you again, and you already know how to answer. You always knew. I am Ayla, and until our next encounter, my light family, remember with your body, remember with your chest, remember with your voice, and never again allow anyone to convince you that your gift does not exist. You are the only one with this exact gift, and the world was waiting exactly for you.